What is up, you guys? Marty McFly coming at you, bringing you guys the merch, or in this case, the food. I think we're going to try something a little bit different today. We always talk about CDs, vinyl, music, books, posters, concerts. We've talked about a lot of different things. You know what we haven't talked about yet? Food. And in this case, we're going to talk about heavy metal related food items. This is going to be part one. There are so many band sponsored things out there with regarding whiskey, beer, coffee, etc. So I think the most popular one that everyone's probably heard of, at least if you're watching this channel, is Iron Maiden's Trooper beer. It's Robinson's Ale. It's fantastic. Really great flavor profile, very malty. A great lager, especially when it's 1,000 degrees out. You're at a show. It's got a punch. It's got a punch worth of alcohol. I mean, you get one or you get a couple of those down, you're gonna start seeing sounds, if you know what I mean. So a lot of other bands have done similar things. Judas Priest has their own beer. Def Leppard had their own beer. A lot of bands are doing sponsored, hot sauces. Cannibal Corpse, they had their own whiskey, which came from Three Floyds, and I really wish I could have gotten my hands on that. Slipknot, of course, has their own whiskey, their number 9 whiskey. And a lot of bands, like In Flames, have their own vodka now. So a lot of bands try to get their names on things. Cannibal Corpse's craft beer that they did here in Tampa, it was over at the Angry Chair Brewing, which was fantastic. It's like a blood red ale. Really, really great beer. Very malty, very flavorful, kind of on the sweet and dusky side. Leaves you feeling good. This one, however, this is something we haven't ventured on this page before. I noticed this was on their website. They're sponsored, and the guys from Cannibal Corpse were talking about. And let's go and let's dig into it. This, of course, is Beheaded Brewing. And Beheading Brewing by Cannibal Corpse. This is their coffee blend. And it came with a nice little package. They have so many different options if you want to do this stuff now. This, of course, is done with a company out in Orlando. It says it's actually produced and distributed by Snapchill in Green Bay, Wisconsin. But the actual distributor and the company, everything, they buy right out of Orlando. I got this within a couple of days, but when I knew Cannibal Corpse had their own coffee, I really wanted to get my hands on it. Straight up, I'm a coffee addict. I love it. 4 cups a day probably. Some days I'm alright. I'm like 1 to 2, but I do enjoy it. I like it just because I like the flavor. I'll drink it black. I'll drink it with cream. I'll drink it with, sometimes like a little peppering of sugar in there, whatever. But I do enjoy coffee. It makes me more human. It helps me not hurt people, and including myself, because anyone who knows me knows I am not the same person until I get that first cup going. Usually the first cup is just to make it, basically to get to baseline human behavior without injuring people in traffic and screaming at people in traffic, or just being a good human. Hurting people is illegal, so we probably don't want to do that. That's why we drink coffee in the morning. Just kidding, guys. I don't actually have this injurious behavior or desire to do that. Coffee basically just keeps me sane, and I'm sure a lot of you are like that. But yeah, like I said, I have a very, very taxing job, and I'm hyper focused all the time. I'm always trying to figure out what could go wrong, etc., etc. But if you want me to work all day, go home, try and get a workout in, study up on whoever my patients were that day, or maybe try and even just try to make sure we're managing things correctly, I gotta have coffee, man. If we're gonna do that all day, yep, gotta have it. It's part of my life. So let's dig into this box. There's a lot of different options you can get with this company, but I chose the one which is a 3-pack. It comes with a can of cold brew, comes with the coffee itself, and it comes with a really great sticker. So this, of course, is the Beheading Brewing cold brew can. The flavor is very similar to what you're actually getting out of the bag. I like the bag a little bit better, but this comes basically as like a nitro cold brew. It's black, no cream, no sugar. Great flavor. I think you can drink it black, and it gave me a really nice boost. I think if you're looking for something that's going to actually wake you up in the morning, this does a good job. A lot of the nitro cold brews, I don't know if you guys have the same problem as me, but a lot of the nitro cold brews, I don't really get much out of them. An hour later, I'm falling asleep. Maybe it's just because of all the stuff that's in them. Maybe it's not as well caffeinated, but I really did enjoy this. And if you're a fan of coffee, this is something worth a try, especially if you're a fan of heavy metal, Cannibal Corpse, etc. I did see one guy who actually he removed the lid of the can and he turned it into a candle, and I think that's actually a great idea. It's a great way to hold on to the can. I cleaned it out, but I like to keep it on my shelf where all my other heavy metal related food items are. So I mean, I have different beer cans and stuff from different bands. But you know, they're saying that this is cedar, vanilla, malty, and smooth and balanced. The origins, if you're curious, are Bali. The body they say above average. The process is wet hold. You do get the nitro kick when you open up the can. The flavor, like I said, it's great black. I really thoroughly enjoy this. It wasn't as, you know, when we get into the actual coffee itself, I like the flavor of this. It's a little bit sweet. You can get a little bit of that cedar and a little bit of, you know, when you get freshly ground coffee that's, you know, usually single origin, you get it from somewhere else that's not just like Folgers. I've noticed a lot of the good coffees, when they're freshly ground, they have a little bit of that acid, almost like a marinara sauce flavor. And I know you're going to think, well, that just sounds crazy. No, I mean, I was trying to figure out the flavor I was getting out of like Stumptown and some of those other brands. There's actually a brand that comes out of Greenville, South Carolina, and I've noticed some of their the most one I could think of is Belly Warmer. The flavor behind Belly Warmer, there's an acid flavor that reminded me, and the smell when it hit my nose reminded me of marinara sauce, and I love the flavor of it. So there's a little bit of that in there. Now that's the cold brew. The best part, I thought, I ordered it pre-ground. I did it as their espresso brand. This, of course, is their Beheading Brewing Cannibal Corpse coffee. This has already been used up, but I wanted to make sure I showed everybody the bag. You can still get a little bit of the smell from here. Now, when I take a big whiff of that, I get licorice, and that is and I don't like black licorice. I don't like the licorice flavor. I don't like anything licorice related, but the smell I get from that is dark chocolate and a little bit of licorice flavor and malt, and it works. When you actually brew it, it works. I do not get licorice flavor in the coffee after it's been brewed. I get a lot of, you know, like dark chocolate notes, a little bit of like caramel and spice, maybe a little bit of allspice at the very, very end. And then some of that harsh licorice flavor, which is, I think, is what they were going for with this blend. Almost similar to the red ale that they made at Angry Chair. You know, the way they're saying this, though, is Bali Blue Moon is the coffee. The tasting notes are cedar, vanilla, black licorice, absolutely. Vanilla, I don't know if I get that. I think I got more vanilla in the can, actually. But I would agree with the cedar and the black licorice. Like a little bit of that marinara sauce acid at the very end. And then like kind of like a sweet dark chocolate. And then they're saying varietal, bourbon, Typica, processes, wet hold. This is by Concept Cafes. Sorry, I couldn't think of the name of it earlier, but Concept Cafes, it's out in Orlando, Florida. So I got this pretty quickly. The band, of course, who needs no introduction, Cannibal Corpse. The artwork, of course, done by Vince Locke, who does all of their artwork as a band. It's pretty rad. I really enjoyed that. But liquefy your brain, as they say. And the best part of the box, other than, of course, the coffee, so, anyone who knows me knows I am a sticker whore, and that is definitely an incredible sticker. Haven't figured out where I'm going to put this yet. I do have several. I have like a Foot Locker. I put a lot of my heavy metal stuff. I have my vinyl casings where I put a lot of that stuff. So I'm going to have to find a home for him. But that is the box itself. Like I said, a great sticker. Can't wait to actually put that up somewhere. But that is the box you get, and you get a fair price after shipping and handling. I think for what you get, it's got Cannibal Corpse on it. If you're into heavy metal, if you're into coffee, you know, I think you get a lot for your money, and I think that's pretty awesome. So that is, of course, the Beheading Brewing Coffee by Cannibal Corpse, Concept Cafes out of Orlando, Florida. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I think I'm going to start doing a little bit more of these food items because, you know, there are so many vast things in regards to music and artists who do their own versions of whatnot. You know, a lot of bands I've noticed, they do their own hot sauce and butt burner, whatever you want to call it. It's painfully hot and everyone, you know, has a small seizure at the end of it because it's so hot. Now, there's a lot of things like that, but I do like this kind of like coffee, the whiskey, the beer. There's a lot of options out there. Anyway, that's it from me, from Marty McFly. I hope you guys are doing well out there. Hopefully to get to some more of these videos and soon. Take care of you guys, and peace.